Hey, you're here for episode 36 of Live Susan Says, and today we're talking all about what's the ROI. So if you are a service-based business owner, entrepreneur that works with individuals, having conversations, and if you have ever been asked this question, what's the return on the investment? If I invest with you, what can I expect as the return? And you've struggled to answer this specific question, then you want to stick around because we're going to dive in today and talk a little bit more about why this is showing up, what you can do instead. And I want to know, what are your questions that are related to this topic? Are you hearing this objection? Are you hearing something else? What's going on in the conversations that you're having with your potential customers? Because I want to be able to serve you. And if you're a member of my free Facebook, which is linked somewhere here on this page, Successful Sales Strategies, on Wednesday, I'm actually going to dive in deep with all of the questions that you're going to share and provide for me down below. So whether you're live or replay, go ahead and ask me your questions. I love being able to serve you, and I'm going to be going deep dive into those questions in my free Facebook group on Wednesday. So if you're brand new to me, my name is Susan McVeigh. I am a business sales strategist, and I help entrepreneurs and service owners sell with more ease without the sleaze so that they can finally make the money and impact that they so desperately desire while living their life of freedom and flexibility. So we're digging into this very specific question that's happening on Conversation. So I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever heard this? And I know my students always think I have the easy way out because I help people make money, right? So if you are somebody who is not necessarily helping folks make money, right? So if you're a health coach, a relationship coach, you are a graphic designer, a website design, like somebody that is providing a high level, a high expertise based service where there isn't necessarily a dollar amount that you're helping produce for people, I would love to know, is that you? Go ahead and put yes in the comments below so that I know that you are in the right place. And if you've ever heard this conversation or this statement, this question, and you've gotten stuck, I'd love for you to throw up some thumbs up, put some emojis or your GIF down below to let me know how it feels when you hear this from potential customers. So first, I want to reassure you, because sometimes when we have these questions and these objections pop up, we instantly feel apprehensive. Like we're like, oh my gosh, this is a no. This is a no. And you're kind of steeling yourself up for that. So I'd love to hear, like, does this create more questions for you? What does this make you feel? If you have other questions related to this topic, go ahead and put them below, and I'm going to answer them on Wednesday in my free Facebook group. Today, I wanted to dig into this specific topic, and I want to make sure that I get through what I need to say. So if you're here, go ahead and say hi, where you're coming in from. I'd love to be able to say hello and be able to greet you. I just got an update on Ecamm, so I apologize if I'm going to just hop on here and see if we're going live, because I can see a couple of emojis, but I can't see any comments. So what's the return on investment? Now, the first thing is, do you actually see your service as an investment, or is this just something that you're saying because you were told you need to say it? So that's the first question that I'll ask is, do you actually believe that when people purchase from you, when they invest with you, when they are giving you money and they are handing over their credit card, that it actually is an investment in you and them? Do you believe that? So I'd love to hear from you. Do you even believe that you are an investment and that you're worth the investment? Because if you don't, then using that word and then having the client or potential client ask you, well, what's the return on my investment? It's really hard for you to come up with reasons, or you kind of feel like deer in headlights maybe. I know that I have, because I just felt like, well, this is so easy for me. I don't feel worthy of asking people to invest in me. It's just, this is my business. This is what I do. And I need people to pay me in order for me to actually have a legitimate business. So that's the first place that I want you to start, is evaluate. Do you actually see yourself as a high level, like high expertise based person and business, such that the amount of money that you're asking people to spend with you is an investment? That's the first thing. Okay. So I'd love to hear. Do you believe that that's the case? The second piece that I want you to evaluate is the only return that you provide or that you value money? Because you're a person and we sell person to person. And so at the end of the day, yes, money is important, right? But if you don't directly give a return based on money results, then is that the only thing in your life that is important? I want you to be honest. And so if you've been following me for a while, you know I always give actionable, tactical tasks that you can implement today to help move you forward. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down a list of all the things that you see as valuable in your life. Like when you make an investment or when you make a purchase in whatever it is that you're buying, why are you doing this? What makes you feel like it's worthwhile for you to be able to do this, right? So I'll give you an example. I have a lot of plastic water bottles. Don't shoot me. They're all the BPA free stuff. However, when I really started to do my research into plastics and all that kind of stuff, I realized, you know what? I actually would prefer not to drink out of plastic. So everything in my house that we drink out of day to day they're glasses, like drinking glasses. So I thought, well, when I travel, why wouldn't I do the same thing, either a glass or metal, so that I don't have to worry about plastic. So I had an existing plastic water bottle, and when the time came, I upgraded. So again, there's no monetary reason for me to make the investment into something else, but I made the choice because for me, this is better health. This aligns better with my values. That is the return on my investment, is to do something that makes me feel good, that makes me drink more water. So it's taking care of my health. So that is important to me. And so if a business helps me to do something related to my health that is more in line with my values, then I am more likely to make that investment. I hope this is making sense. Does that make sense? So I want you to evaluate, because we are all consumers just as much as we are selling our services. And unless you understand what are some of the reasons why you would make an investment, what are some of the returns that you're looking for, it is hard for you to be able to articulate why and to make the connection between what it is that you do and what people want you to do for them, and to say, this is what I do for them, and this is why you're going to invest with me. And until you have that ability to communicate that, then it's really, really hard. Does that make sense? Hello, Kylie. Thanks for joining me. You know what? Oh, Claire, I missed you. Sorry. Claire, I know it's been forever, girl. I appreciate you. Okay, so I always forget to say this. If you feel like this would be helpful to somebody that you know, please go ahead and share this out to someone, because goodness knows that we have all come across lots of different ways that the objections come through, right? And so sometimes this feels like a no. And the truth of the matter is that it could be a no, but only if you don't know how to answer it. So I would love to be able to hear from you. What are some of the questions that you have around this? Like when you hear, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? What can I expect? What are some of the things that you have been unable to answer? What are some of the questions that you might have? I'd love to be able to help you. I'm going to answer them all. And so even if you're watching this on the replay, don't worry. I will come back in. I will collect all of the questions, and I'm going to answer them in a lot more detail over my Facebook group, Successful Sales Strategies, on Wednesday. So you have time, not to worry. If you need to think about it, go ahead and do so. But I want you to really think about the impact that this question is having on your ability to sell, to communicate, to have a conversation with the folks that you're meant to serve and to help, who desperately need you. Because too often, I know that when we have questions like this that are really hard for us to answer, or we feel discomfort, we stumble, that it can be really disheartening. And then what happens? You stop engaging in the conversation. You essentially stop the sales process, which means you never get to the final invitation of making sure that people understand what it would be like to work with you, because you're getting in your own way. You're not you're not sure about what it is that you need to say. You're not prepared because you don't see the true value of what it is that you can do for folks. And it takes preparation, it takes experience, it takes a combination, excuse me, of all of those things, right? But the truth of the matter is that you can do this. This is learnable. This is something that you just practice. And yes, you can take shortcuts like you are today by making sure that you understand why you're hearing it, what it means, how to move forward. So if you missed the exercise that I gave you, go back and watch the replay, because I gave you like a tactical thing that I want you to do that's going to get you on the first step to the road to making sure that you have the skills required in order to overcome this particular question if you're getting stuck on it. So this was inspired by one of my community members, Joanna. I don't know if you're watching this live, but I know that you'll be watching on the replay. And if you have more questions, then please feel free to post them below and I will answer them for you in our free Facebook community, Successful Sales Strategies, on Wednesday. So there's always an ROI. It's up to you to decide what the ROI is for your target audience. So your target audience, just like me with this water bottle, I'm looking for very specific things that are important to me. And unless you can articulate what that looks like, especially when you're being asked the question, because when somebody asks this particular question, like what is the ROI? What's your price? What's the investment? Like anything that's related to that kind of vein or bucket, it's because they're interested. It's because they're interested. So that is a great sign, because it means that if you are aligned, if they're like coming in like this and they're asking, what's the ROI? What's the investment? What's the return? What can I expect? And like for my water bottle, right? The return for me was more water in a healthier way to support my lifestyle. So when I was able to find, like, this is what I'm looking for, this is the return that I want, and I can find a product or service that meets that, creates a purchasing decision, right? It creates a moment where I go, sold. I want that. Here's my credit card. I'm buying. So that congruence between what that person is looking for and what they want as their return and what you actually do offer as the return, when there's that meeting of the minds, that's when you get the yes. That's when like whoosh, fireworks and like yes, and you're dancing and celebrating and doing like high fives to yourself. So it's really important that you know what the return is. You actually get to choose. You get to choose based on your positioning and based on your target market. If you have the benefit, if you have the right benefits, but your people don't see the benefit, then you're probably talking to the wrong people. Okay? And if you don't have, well, everybody has a benefit. You have to do the work to figure out what that benefit looks like. And so the first part is the exercise I gave you. I want you to start there. And then if you still are stuck, if you have more questions, if you have, but what if this, but what if that? Like, Susan, I've tried that. I still don't get it. I still am struggling to figure out, because I don't help people make money. That's the number one thing that I always hear. I don't help people make money, so I don't know what the return is. Look, people are buying stuff all the time with people who don't make money, but it's because they know why they're buying and what that service is going to do for them. And you need to be able to explain this as the service provider. You are the expert. So it's your role to make sure that people understand why they're buying from you, what they're buying from you, what they're going to get, and to lay it out there. So even if people don't ask this question, that's what they're thinking here before they actually hand over their credit card. And if there isn't that match, it will stop them. It will stop them from being able to move forward. So it's really critical that even if you're not asked this question, that you are able to position what people are buying from you in such a way that ROI is covered. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so thank you, Kylie, for posting the questions. Let me just pause for a second, because I know that I talked about a lot of different stuff. And again, if you have specific questions, because I'm going to hop off now and grab some lunch, because it's lunchtime and self-care is part of what I do. And I hope that everybody here is eating lunch and taking breaks. But if you have a question, if you're sitting and percolating and all the thoughts are coming and you go, oh, I need to ask this, post it below this video. I'm going to come back in before Wednesday, and I will be doing a more detailed training digging into this topic with maybe some additional script materials depending on the questions that I get. So if you have a question, I will answer them over in my free Facebook group. If you're not over in there already, which I know a lot of you are, come and join us in Successful Sales Strategies. Let me know that you found me on my business page, and then come on over because we will be digging in a little bit more deeper into this specific topic, but also addressing any questions that you might have on here. So hello, Kendra. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Kylie, for sharing. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Kendra says makes perfect sense. Awesome. So questions below on what's the ROI. And I'd love to hear, if you already know your ROI, put it below. Because guess what? Other people are watching this video. Other people are going to see this. They may be your perfect client. They may be looking for your return, the thing that you give. So this is a bonus tip. My marketing strategist is going to be like, stop, too long already. If you have an opportunity to get in front of more people for free and tell people what it is that you do, where other folks that you're not exposed to already, that's not in your audience, would be able to find you, always take the opportunity. Always take the opportunity. If somebody says, what do you do? Like, out of my friends, what do you do? And it's a public post. Here, I'm asking you, what is your return? What is it that you specifically give people? If you're a business owner, post it, because people are going to watch this video. People are already watching this video, and more people are going to watch this video. And as people are scrolling through, they're going to see, oh, Claire does blank. Oh, Kylie does blank. Oh, Kendra does blank, right? So you need to be able to fill in the gap around the return on investment. And here's a great way for you to practice this. So that way, if you're not clear, ask me. Go ahead. It's okay. I'll give you some clarity when I do my deeper dive on Wednesday. But guess what? Somebody may be intrigued enough to go, I want to know more. I want more of that thing. Can we have a conversation? Or they may stalk you. They may friend you. They may follow your business page or wherever your content is being shown, and they're going to consume what is your good stuff. And that's really where we start to snowball, right? So that's my bonus tip. Okay, so come and join me on Wednesday. I have to figure out the time. But if you're in Successful Sales Strategies, you're going to see that posted as an event. Make sure that if you are in the group, that your notifications are on. And if you're following this page, hello, Erica. Thank you so much. Come and follow this page, because my live Susan Says, I'm switching them to Mondays. So they will be on Mondays. I have to figure out a stable time because I just recently switched. So Mondays, I will be here quick, 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then on Wednesdays, as long as I'm not traveling or speaking, I will be doing a deeper dive over in my free Facebook group, going into the questions that you might have and going in a little bit deeper on the topic. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next Monday for our next episode of Live Susan Says. And if you do have any other suggestions, comments, questions, post them below. I often will use a lot of what you ask for content to help you. So thank you, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.